All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Walrus and Comic Podcast, a sports report that hasn't been about sports for 3 months. But Brett, we got a little bit of news this week. It doesn't look like baseball's coming back.
Nope. The Player Association proposed 114 games, and what's the other side? The commission, whatever it is, whoever the hell the other side is.
I know who you're talking about.
Declined it and did not give a counter offer. They just said no.
Huh. It's funny. I thought it was reversed. I thought the owners said this, and then the Player Association said no because they were going to decrease salaries.
I could be wrong. I thought they had agreed to keep the salaries going.
Now, I think the big thing was like they couldn't agree on the salaries.
Oh, I may be wrong.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, I was like, man, it makes no sense why you wouldn't want to go do it. But I guess people didn't want to make less money. But I don't know if you're going to make any money if you're not playing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Make all the money you can.
Yeah. What if like you're on a I guess baseball's a little different than other sports. Most of their money's guaranteed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't all of it guaranteed?
Most of it. There's some incentive stuff.
Yeah, but they're
it's
actual
not near as
like
much
if you sign like a $125 million contract,
it's
you get 125.
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
Yeah, see, football you can get $125 million
but you
contract,
but
you got to
jump through some hoops.
So I think that was a big issue there. Man, I think a lot of people were rooting for baseball to come back.
It was.
Yeah, well, I know you were, but I think other people in general, like I've been seeing, like, maybe we get to go catch a game in Atlanta or go do this.
R.I.P. that.
Yeah, rip Central. And, it makes no sense to me, especially with a sport where you can play it with very limited contact.
Yeah.
Why you wouldn't just come up with something there. But apparently the two just could not reach the agreement. The sides couldn't come together there. But I did see that basketball, the NBA, is actually going to be back in July.
Woo!
22 teams. And it's going to be like a playoff bracket style thing.
Huh.
So at least you get the basketball in that sense. And let me tell you, I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but I do tune in a lot more during the playoffs. That's typically the time I like to watch it. But this is like a 22-team playoff. This is what they're going to play it out as.
Strange.
Yeah, well, I mean,
of course I'll watch it because there's been nothing.
Well, and this better, way better than nothing.
Yeah.
And you're giving the teams an opportunity who were in contention for the playoffs to be able to play out that. This is actually, I say this is LeBron James's year to win in Los Angeles.
If you're going to do it, it's this one.
Yeah, because,
with the virus.
But more so in specific with the injuries right now. The Golden State Warriors have been a non-factor because Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have been out injured. Kevin Durant had that big time surgery. I can't remember the name of the muscle, but it's like an Achilles, right? I think it was an Achilles surgery.
Tendon.
And so he had the Achilles surgery, and so he was out for this year. So this is like the year for LeBron James before it actually gets hard in his division. So, and I think a lot of people really want to see that because if he can bring a title to Los Angeles, it's not going to cement his legacy there, but it's going to satisfy a lot of people because, Magic Johnson, one of the Los Angeles Lakers greats, have said, hey, he's one of the greatest Lakers of all time. But he hasn't done anything.
Bold statement.
He's just he's a great player.
Because he put on the jersey.
Yeah, because he put on the jersey.
Ridiculous.
It's like he puts him in the top 5
That's
because
ridiculous.
he put the jersey on. He hasn't done anything.
If I was somebody who had done a lot, I'd be pissed off. I'd say, wait a minute. What all have I done for the Lakers? This jackass put on a Lakers jersey.
Especially the Lakers.
He put on a jersey.
Yeah. I can
Look
see
what I did.
He goes to the Brooklyn Nets. All right, he's the best player all time in
Brooklyn
Net history.
Give it to him.
Toronto Raptors.
Yeah,
is in
fine.
the top
Give it
5,
to him. Who cares? Give it to him.
I mean, I guess Kawhi. In that logic, Kawhi Leonard's the best player to ever play for Toronto Raptors.
Yes.
Because he brought a title.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's pretty dang good, and he played the game really well, with his money situation and stuff.
Yeah, but if it was for a minor team like somebody not the Lakers, it'd be like, fine, give it to him. He's the best. I don't care. He's the best Cavaliers player. He's the best.
Yeah,
who cares?
Yeah, and that's one of those things. He has to win this year, and really and truly, he needs to get 2 more probably, because his legacy right now, when sports fans look at it, you're like, all right, he's made it to the finals a lot. He also did not win a lot in the finals. And now, granted, his team around him wasn't great. Like, you look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was phenomenal. There's a video of one of my favorite...
I need to watch that.
The documentary, you gotta
watch it.
I
watched the first 2 episodes, and then I just hadn't done it.
Well, there's a clip from one of those from a basketball player that I used to really like, and because of WCW, the mailman, Karl Malone.
Hey!
And so they do this interview with Karl, and they're like, hey, when I say the name Michael Jordan, what comes to mind? He's like, Chicago Bulls. It's like, I don't look at Michael Jordan as like, you know, the best player to ever walk the planet. I look at him as a great player who had a great team around him.
Yeah.
Because we had to guard 5 players on that floor because any of them could score. But Michael's the one who got the recognition. And I think it, like, looking at it, I was like, man, like, you know, that's such like a real statement because people just, man, I mean, Michael Jordan was phenomenal. All right? Think of how much better he would have been if he never left and went to baseball.
Yeah.
He didn't take that time off and he come back and make his legacy look a little weaker because he comes back to a situation where he's older and he's done.
Yeah.
You know, but think about like if he stays and like he probably, you know, his NBA title record's probably more because he was in his prime when he left.
Right.
That's the thing. Michael Jordan left at the peak and then he came back later. You know, but LeBron James has just been watching his career. Like, you realize LeBron James started playing NBA when I was in high school, right? So we were about the same age. He was like 3 or 4 years older than me, I think. He started playing NBA. So I remember everyone wearing the LeBron James jerseys for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's like the coming of the next thing. And you know, he's been a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal person too. I think that's one thing that people don't look at. Like, you know, Michael Jordan's got his, you know, Jordan brand, makes bukus of dollars, right? But LeBron James gives a lot back to the community, more than you hear advertised with Michael Jordan. It's like I don't hear too much advertised, and I could be wrong, but LeBron James opened a school, and like has like a 98% pass rate, 98% college graduate rate, or something like some like obnoxiously high number. You know, he's doing a lot of stuff for the community, which is like big. That's the thing that bummed me out about Kobe Bryant stuff. With Kobe Bryant, you know, whenever you hear the name Kobe Bryant, you kind of think of the personality that Tiger Woods had in his prime, right? Didn't really interact with people. He was just like, he was there to play the game, make a lot of money, shoot a lot of baskets, right? Tiger Woods in the beginning, he didn't interact with the fans. He didn't, you know, it was just like no games at all. Right? Kobe Bryant, after the NBA, was a different Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know, he's coached his daughter's team, right? Flying people in the helicopters there. He bought an investment in this sports drink called Body Armor. A lot of people don't know this. Phenomenal drink. He made millions of dollars on it because it took off. And I don't know particularly why it took off because his name wasn't tied to it at first when it took off, but he just made a really good investment. Really big in the business world. Coming back and like mentoring younger NBA players who were similar to him
to save
kind of
money.
save their money, man. That's the big thing. I think another person who doesn't get enough recognition, Shaq. You know, Shaq owns a bunch of Papa John's, right? He does a lot of commercials. He's really big into business. But Shaq looks out for a lot of these younger NBA players. Say, hey, we need to invest your money. Be honest. I have to find it. There's a cool interview where Shaq is he's talking about this other NBA player who was either a Mormon or Jehovah's Witness. And he came into the Miami Heat, and he was like, Shaq, I don't do any of this stuff. And Shaq kind of took him under his wing. He's like, hey, well, I'm going to keep you up here. He's like, but we got to do some things. Like, he's like, took him to buy some new suits, took him to buy a nice car. He's like, there's certain things you have to do to kind of fit in, and then you don't have to do the other stuff. But Shaq tells a story how, like, people, they're going out to party, and like the guys are like, let's bring so-and-so, the new guy, and he's like, no, you leave the new guy alone. He doesn't do that stuff. I'm not going to let you do that to him. You know, because he didn't want him to be pressured to do something that was outside of his religious beliefs, right? So it's just something like so cool that you hear, and like Shaq is just, he's just one of those guys. He does so much for the community, especially for the black community, and right now we're living in a time where COVID-19, it's still here. Then we have a Black Lives movement that's happening right now. that's just wreaking havoc really on the country and the world. It's breaking out other places. It's good to see like people who make it successful within the community come back and give into it, right? Because that's a big thing. You know, you got to have some type of person to kind of help influence you and lead you in the right direction. So those are some like cool things I saw. Now, last time we recorded together this podcast, there was a sporting event going on that was a 2v2 golf game that we briefly talked about because it was going on. We didn't watch any of it at that time. But we actually went after the podcast and watched some. All right, let me ask you this, Brett. Is that not what golf should be?
Yeah, every week.
2v2.
Every single
Tiger
week.
Woods versus Phil Mickelson, and you had Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Every single week.
Give me 2 pros and give me 2 like other people, right? Like it could be actors.
Just 2 big names.
I don't care. Give me 2 more big names, and let's go. You know what I loved most about it? The trash talk that happened.
Yeah.
Like Charles Barkley coming on trash talking Tom Brady, and then Tom Brady hitting one heck of a shot.
Shot of my life.
And you're talking about like loosening up. Like we watched Tom Brady, Super Bowl champion times what 5 or 6, like sucking on the golf course.
Awful at golf.
Like, I could have beat him on the first half, first 9 holes. I could have beat him. Right, and you know hitting everything right and just not playing.
It's hard to think a professional athlete can be that bad at it.
Right, and you could tell it was eating him alive. He wasn't talking. He was just not. He wasn't doing well. But he had that shot,
one shot,
and he
just
and he loosened up, and there was a lot of money being thrown around donation-wise. Yeah. And I was talking to a guy who's big into golf, right? And we were talking about this whole situation that was happening, and he said that this is actually what the PGA is actually moving towards because they want live betting hole by hole. And so what we saw was betting for charity, right? Yeah. But it was kind of like
an advertisement for what
it was
we're going to do.
It was a fielding of, let's see if this actually would work. Yeah. And you saw like big time people coming out and like, hey man, $50,000.
Yeah, $100,000 if you make a shot right now.
Yeah, or like $100,000 if you birdie this hole. You yourself, you know, like and stuff like that, man. Like it was really cool that it was going to charity. They auctioned off all the like everything, like the carts, the golf clubs, the balls, everything you could auction off, they auctioned off for charity. You know what? Kudos to the PGA for doing that. That was a great idea.
Now give it to us every week.
Now give it to us every week.
Now give it to us every week.
And you know what? I'm a guy who I enjoy sports betting. I've done a lot of FanDuel in my life, and now recently I moved my sports betting money over to stocks, which I'm doing really well in. But once again, stock market and the gambling market, there's not really a difference. Now, people are going to say I'm lying. Listen, all right, stock market, my money stays there, but my money can significantly go down or significantly go up. Yeah, it is. And like I gained over $120 this week in the stock market, and I didn't add any more into it. I didn't invest any more than I already had in there.
Good job.
It's just like my stocks, I'm just riding them up, right? And so sports betting really isn't much of a difference. It's just there's a more immediate turnaround whether you win or lose money. That's typically what happens, right? So, I could tell you a story. I was doing FanDuel one night on a football game, Monday night football game. I'm in the gym actually working out, watching my FanDuel, like watching the game and then watching my FanDuel update. And with 15 minutes left in the football game, I'm in first place in a $5 buy-in for $15,000. My team, though, was up so big, they benched the starters with the last 15 minutes in the game. And I went from first place to 10th place.
Oh, my God.
So I went from $15,000 to $1,000. Now, $1,000 on a $5 buy-in, that's pretty dang good.
Pretty good.
Right? But we're talking a $14,000 letdown.
But still.
Yeah, I wasn't tied with anyone. Like, I had the players. Just once that team got so far ahead, the other players who I was playing against got more targets and more looks, and I lost $14K. But even though I gained $995,
still that ain't the point.
But the point is I lost $14 grand.
The point is
in that moment. So golf is looking for this type of thing. Like, imagine you're on FanDuel and you're like, all right, golf game's going on, man. Brooks Koepka's up playing, man, I can bet $5 right now that he birdies this hole, and I could possibly win $15, $20, or I can if a lot of people do. The more people who vote that way, obviously, the less payout. Yeah. Or I said, man, he's going to double bogey this hole. I'm gonna put 5 on it, and everyone's saying he's going to birdie it because it's a safe bet. Yeah. What if he double bogeys it and I win like $1,000? Right. That's going to get the game of golf.
Needs something. It needs something.
It's known as like an old man sport.
Yeah, it needs something.
But we're seeing a lot of younger guys really get into it. We go play golf pretty regularly. We see a lot of younger people getting into it, right? Because the sport's becoming more affordable right now, which is weird because that sport's always been one where you had to be a higher class to play because you had to be able to afford the shoes, you had to be able to afford the outfits, the golf club. My God, you need a driver, $400, right? Yeah. We're seeing a lot more prices come down on these things and people are coming in.
Because it's losing so much because nobody is... Yeah.
So
because I'm not doing that.
And now golf has to...
They had to come down to the people.
Look at it. Look at it compared to other sports.
I don't know who they thought they were.
If you have a kid, right, you can put them on the football field with every chance to risk any type of injury you could ever imagine and maybe not even walk again. All right, listen, I played football 6 years. Yeah. 2 years middle school, 4 years high school. Yeah. I had an opportunity to play for a smaller college, no big Division I. I could have played 4 years in college at a small school like at Charleston Southern, right? And I, to this day, sometimes my head hurts.
Yep.
And it's from all the concussions. My knees, man, when the weather's changing, it's going to rain, man, my knees let me know, right? It just, everything creaks. You have a kid, golfers can make a lot of money.
Yeah. Sponsors is what does it.
Yeah. And if you can string away wins, right? 3 or 4 wins in a PGA season once you get pro.
Now you're somebody.
1.5 million, 2.5 million, 2.3 million, 850,000, it's a sport you could actually consider having your kids go into.
Yeah.
But golf has to capitalize on the time we're in right now where more people are getting in. They need more exciting things.
They better play it perfectly.
And people bet on football all the time, right? Listen, every Sunday during the football season, you better believe I'm in about 10 different FanDuel things, ranging from $1 to $10 a game, right? And I'm not going to tell you I'm a pro, because there are pro gamblers on this scene. And I don't know how they get the scoops they get, to pick certain players every week. I don't know, okay? But you tell me Joe Schmo is going to go off for 10 catches for 185 yards and 2 scores, and he hadn't caught but 3 passes all year? All right, I don't know how they get that information. But I am good enough at it, or lucky enough, whatever you want to say. I'm good enough at identifying matchups. And you know what's weird? People don't think about it. Weather conditions.
Yeah.
Temperatures. Yeah. Indoor versus outdoor. I'm good enough at identifying those things where I can say, hey, I'm going to choose this, and this. Right. And you have to make it around salary cap, obviously, right? I can't just pick Aaron Rodgers, Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, I can't get all the big names because you're going to go broke and you're going to lose out. All right? But I can tell you, good enough to either break even or make more than what I put in every week. So if I'm putting in 50 a week and I'm bringing out 60 or 70, hey, I'm fine.
Right.
I do a initial deposit in the season for $100. If I go to zero, I don't put any more in.
Okay.
Because my season's up. Because I'm a gambler. I love to gamble. And hey, listen, I've been to casinos. I brought my debit card in one time, and that's all it took to realize that I can't do this, right? So I put 100 in, and I play that 100. If I lose it within 3 weeks, I don't put any more in, right? Because at that point, it could be an issue, right? I don't want to tie up my finances in any other way like that. So golf is taking advantage. They were just feeling it. Hey, guys, we're doing all this for charity. That's great. There's something else there. They wanted to see if big-time celebrities would bet on stuff.
They will.
They wanted to see, and they got every indication they needed.
Yeah, they got it.
We're going to do this. Yeah. And I think we're going to get this again. Now, hey, I thought the coolest thing about this, Brett, was the fact that we got to see human-side Tiger Woods. All right. we know the big difference between a pro player and a non-pro player. It's not the driving. It's the putting. Right? And looking at Tiger Woods, looking at Peyton Manning saying, hey,
when he tells you to do
the
something.
Right, 75%.
Right, when he tells you to do something.
Yeah. And we watch Peyton Manning go up and legitimately try to do what Tiger Woods says and almost makes it every time or gets close to it.
Right.
All right. That's where you say, hey, there's a big difference between professional and non-professional. But wasn't it cool just hearing him talk to him, like caddy him essentially? He was caddying him. And that's what Peyton Manning says. I got him as a partner and a caddy today. Because, he was getting so much invaluable information. Now, I've heard that Peyton Manning golfs a ton.
With Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
They play together.
Yeah, so I heard that Peyton is a big-time golfer. So maybe not a fair situation for Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson, right? But I thought it was cool, man. I laughed so hard watching some replays where Tom Brady makes a shot, but he goes up for a high five with Phil, and Phil just like air five behind him, like just kind of playing it off because the whole COVID thing, right?
Yeah.
But you could tell that Phil was very upset in the beginning because, obviously, you're a pro player going against another pro player, and you've been doing this most of your career with the same guy. You don't want to lose to him on national TV on probably one of the biggest watched sporting events since 2019 began, right? Because I imagine like there was a lot of people watching this, and I know a lot of people who did watch it. You don't want to get shown up, you know. And so it's just there has to be some frustration there. But man, isn't it cool? The format was great. Like, was captain's choice in the front, and they alternated the balls in the back. So, like, if, in the back nine, I drove and Tiger drove, but Tiger drives really better, then we take his shot, and then we have to take my next shot, right?
Mm-hmm. So
that's I like it, man. What a great format.
Yeah.
What a great idea. I don't know who came up with the idea, but you got to do it again, PGA. If you didn't watch it, guys, there's a lot of replays of it. Go check it out. It's funny. You get to see Charles Barkley just like trash Tom Brady.
Just killed him verbally.
Like, yeah, just verbally. Hey Tom, I'll give you $15,000 if you make this shot. And I loved how they were all mic'd up. I'm glad they had the carts out there. You see them walking. I know PGA said I don't think they get to have carts out there on professional ones. Like, I think it's all walking, which is why Tiger Woods really can't do a lot of professional stuff anymore because his back and everything. Right. First off, why aren't we letting carts out there? Like,
stupid.
Let's put carts on there.
It
doesn't matter. Let it go. It'll speed up your pace of play. It'll speed up the stuff, the coverage, do everything that everyone wants. But I think it's just a bright spot of what potentially could happen, right?
That was perfect. Is what golf should be. I never want to see just a regular Sunday of golf again. If I can get that, if that's my option, if I know I can have that, I never want another normal round of golf on a Sunday. I want that.
Or you can do it more often, right? Yeah. Obviously, if you're a smaller type player, you got to have those 20, 40, 60 man fields, right? You can do those still, but televise the big time stuff. Yeah. Make it more about this, and I think you'll get along. Listen, gambling is all right. So we live in the South.
Yeah.
Gambling is a big no-no for a lot of people.
A lot of people are schmucks around here. Right. A lot of people don't know nothing.
A lot around here. For granted, a lot of it's religious stuff too.
A lot of people don't know nothing around here.
All right. What we're starting to see in NBA's arenas, NFL arenas, you're going to start seeing gambling areas, like rooms you can go in and actively be betting. And did you see Adam Sandler's newest movie, Uncut Gems?
I haven't. I need to watch it, man.
It's on Netflix for free now.
Good.
So you need to watch it.
Yeah.
First off, I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. A lot of people aren't. He's hokey comedy. I like hokey comedy. He has his own company now. He does a lot of movies on Netflix. All right, listen, I get it. He's very hokey, but you know what? I've been with him since day one, right? All right, so he's been my dude. This is a movie unlike any Adam Sandler movie I've ever seen, and the ending is going to blow your mind.
I'm ready for it.
But towards the end, you see they're in there, and a lot of people don't realize this. You see the preview for it, and you see Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett just doesn't make a cameo. He's actively in this movie. Okay. It's all based around his stats from his last year, I think. from his last time at the finals.
Yeah.
But he's an active actor, and it's not just a one-time thing. He's very central to the storyline. So you see this thing where Adam Sandler sends his girlfriend. All right, he's married, but he's got a girlfriend.
Hey.
And, the marriage is falling apart, but he goes home to the girl or whatever. But he sends her to the arena or casino where it's happening, to a room where you can do all this betting and stuff. And he has the scoop, right? And he says played on this, and this. And you watch it actively, the parlays and their stuff. He's he'll get 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and you have to hit 6 out of 7 or at least 6 out of 8 at least to win money. And he wins a buku's amount. But listen, watch the movie; it's going to blow your mind. Betting in sports is something that, hey, if you don't want to gamble, you don't have to gamble. Let me tell that to the microphone and to the people who watch this. Listen to me. If you do not like gambling, you do not have to gamble on sporting events.
But
it doesn't mean that other people can't.
But you don't know nothing.
That's right. You don't know nothing. So let people have a...
You moron.
We've seen the FanDuel and all that stuff. They go through all the legal stuff and getting more active and more involved everywhere, right? It's going to happen, legally or illegally. Yeah. Why not make it legal and tax it?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I worked in a sports memorabilia store. There was a guy who was a bookie, always coming around, be like, "Hey, man, you want to do a $10 thing? You want to do and listen."
Are you an FBI?
I actually never did it, but I knew a lot of people who did. Listen.
Are you an officer, sir?
People are going to do it no matter what, and you know what? Here's the thing: if they're going to do it, they're going to lose money. I get it. If you're like, "Oh, you're enabling them to be able to spend all." Listen, they're going to do it no matter what.
Right.
Let's tax it.
Right.
Let's use the revenue for something good. It's the same argument they had with the education lottery, right? South Carolina, middle of the Bible Belt. We don't need the education lottery, but you know what? That thing is bringing in a lot of money, and it pays for a lot in scholarships. I got scholarships from the South Carolina Educational Lottery. Allowed me to go to school. All right? Listen, if people are going to be doing it anyways, let's make money off of it.
Right.
And this is where sports is going. Can you imagine being in Las Vegas right now? Just think of how much money you're losing. It's like a ghost town. It's like everything's shut down.
Yeah.
I have a friend who lives outside of Las Vegas.
Jeez.
The city, the town next to it, because he works in Vegas, makes a ton of money. He was telling me, he's like, "Man, you should just move over here because teachers here make bukus of money because of the living wage in Las Vegas is so high that they have to pay teachers so much."
So I think, did I hear, am I right or wrong in saying I read somewhere that college football was thinking of it was something they'll just play 10 conference games, they only play in conference.
I've seen in conferences.
They only do in conference.
Can I tell you something? I love it.
Yeah, we're only going to travel.
Listen, I went to Charleston. Oh, I started at Carolina, University of South Carolina. Transferred to Charleston Southern. And
South Carolina fans thinking, I don't want to just play conference because you did this to yourself.
Yeah.
What year was it you did this to yourself?
Yeah. Also,
you did this to yourself.
Yeah. So
you caused this.
I went to a school that lives.
All you can do now is buy the lube. You did this to yourself.
That's good. I went to a college. I ended up at a college where they survived based on football revenue. Charleston Southern, while I was there, they played Tim Tebow in Florida. All right, listen, they got smacked.
Ooh.
They got smacked, but you know what? They got
made what, $2 million?
Yeah, it was like 500,000 or something.
Yeah.
Some stupid number.
Yeah.
They built a building.
How many years ago was it? Troy got paid $1 million and beat LSU, and LSU got paid $700,000 and beat them in LSU.
Yeah. Citadel got paid a bunch of money to beat South Carolina at South Carolina.
Yeah.
I was at that game too.
Well, that wasn't that hard to do. Beating LSU is.
Yeah.
You beat South Carolina.
Division I. It's like when we watched Appalachian State go into Michigan and beat Michigan, and that year they thought Michigan was going to win the national title before they realized they were terrible.
Have you seen the video that came out today of the police officer pushing down the 75-year-old man?
I did see that.
Going in South Carolina and beating them. don't. All right, you stop the protester, buddy. Big man.
Yeah. I think... you know, I have to be careful about this on the podcast and everything, but...
Yeah, comparable those two.
I think, yeah, that was very, very comparable there. Man, you got me off my game now. Everyone's going to look at me like, what? All right. Back to what the subject matter is. I think this is a great idea. I don't think we should be doing conference games. Listen, I'm a big Carolina fan. I could care less about the Clemson game. We are so far behind, we're not ever going to catch up in my lifetime. Hey, you know what? Clemson, you won the rivalry. That's great.
You got it.
Let's stop doing it. I could care less.
Here's your
trophy. You want to flip-flop? You want to go in the SEC and rule the SEC? Because, I mean, obviously, people get mad when I say this. Clemson is built like an SEC school.
Yeah, they would.
Listen, they are built like an SEC school. They have SEC speed. They have all this stuff.
They would go 11-1, 12-0. They would smoke anybody you put them against. They smoke Alabama. How many times do we have to watch them smoke SEC teams?
God, but I loved LSU smoking them. God, I loved it. Oh, I loved it.
Unforeseen events.
Oh, I remember. I watched. Listen, do you know what's so funny? And I know Carolina fans will not find this funny. I probably watched as many Clemson games this year as I did Carolina games.
Yeah, because they're more fun.
Well, also, I wanted to watch them lose. All right, here you go. You ready for one? You gave me one.
I'm going to be excommunicated by the South Carolina fans, but I'm going to yell it again. They're more fun to watch!
They also are the Floyd Mayweather of NCAA football. People watch them to lose. Like, they got this big fan base, like, huge now, national now, all right? Before it wasn't like that, but now it is. They all tasted the glory, right? Mm-hmm. But now there's people who tune in to watch just to see them lose. Floyd Mayweather effect.
And they're the Floyd Mayweather of football because you watch a game and you're like, how are you winning? You haven't doing anything.
Yeah. How does Syracuse always seem to find a way to hang with them? You ever wonder?
Syracuse is Oscar De La Hoya. Hey!
What? Yes. Like, I listened to that game on the way home from a Carolina game on the radio. I was like, oh, Clemson football on the radio? Listen, Taj Boyd was there doing play-by-play.
How hard was it to drive and yank at the same time, huh?
Very hard. So, but yeah, like, I watched so many. I went listen to them on the radio. Like, I'd been to more Clemson games before I was in college than Carolina games. Mm. Every youth pastor I ever had growing up, because for you non-church people, that's like your pastor for your teenagers. Yeah. Every youth pastor I had was like a Clemson fan. So we always went to the FCA rally in the Valley. Like, so I've been to way more Clemson games.
Ugh.
Like, way
more. Rally in the Valley.
Yeah, man. That's what it's called.
Who's that? Joe Frazier and Holyfield, was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The rally in the Valley?
I think that's what it was, yeah. But yeah, like, that's their FCA event.
Have you seen Mike Tyson's coming back?
Have you been watching AEW lately?
No.
Alright. Mike Tyson.
I've heard it tossed around he fights Evander Holyfield.
Alright. So, let me give you this background. Mike Tyson has been training. He's going to come back to boxing, right? Mm-hmm. That's what everyone's saying. Mm-hmm. Mike Tyson is ripped. Totally ripped right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
He took off his shirt at an AEW pay-per-view because he crowned Cody Rhodes as the TNT champion. Yeah. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that. And his shirt's ripped off, and his pecs are fully defined. I'm like, all right, this guy's really trying to come back.
Yeah.
All right, well, the next week on AEW, Chris Jericho confronts him. And we see the crappiest push by Mike Tyson I've ever seen. It's like he was afraid to hurt Chris Jericho because he was like this.
I bet he could have pushed through him if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah. And like Chris is like, yeah, Mike Tyson, I want you right now. I'll never forget 2010 when, like, it's just really cool storyline. But yeah, I see that. And dude, I'm not going to lie to you. I would watch Tyson Holyfield. I would. I don't care if they're old farts.
I was just about to give you two things.
Right.
Number one, I don't want to see that shit. Number two, I'm gonna watch that shit.
That's right.
Both statements are true.
It will be more entertaining than Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
No, maybe not the trash talk part.
But both of those statements, I don't want to see that shit, but
I
want to watch it.
That's right. And boxing needs something. They need a lifeline. They're just donezo, but they need a lifeline. This is it.
You ever pass the car wreck on the road and you're looking like, I hope.
Where are you going with this?
I hope I don't see any guts, but you're looking.
Oh yeah.
Is this somebody dead in there? Oh, someone watch that fight. Oh Jesus. Oh.
Mike Tyson
don't hurt each other.
At 50 years old will still knock probably any American.
But
out.
I can't not look at it. Oh.
Yeah, like how could you not watch that fight? Like that's just going to be one to watch. You know what? Give it to us, boxing. You need to give us something. And you know what? The great thing about that is somebody's going to get knocked out. Yeah. All right? That won't go to a scorecard. Like, it won't go. But, like, how great would it be if we get this fight and Mike Tyson comes to the ring with a little bird cage and some pigeons in it? He releases it into the stadium. Other big news. UFC took a big blow.
Dana White's fault, and listen, I don't think he realizes how big of a blow it's going to be. Number one, he's about to start. You're not going to have a choice. You got to start paying UFC fighters more now.
Yeah.
All right? Because you just lost the greatest fighter of all time.
To a competitor.
We
just had a WWE AEW flip-flop.
Honestly, that's what it is. Bellator. Yeah. He's probably going to fight in a Bellator octagon with Bellator trunks on. Yeah. And he's going to do it for money he deserves. And then you know what else it'll open up? You're not going to like to hear this. But it's going to open up appearances in WWE and any other wrestling. I don't know if he. Well, I guess he does that. He's a wrestler. Yeah, I guess he does that. But do you know what the minimum to be on MLB roster is? For MLB minimum, to be on the roster, league minimum, to be in the dugout. 495,000. I think it's like 540. Oh, I was close. Yeah, I think it's like 540,000. All right. You know how much John Jones made his last fight? Not a clue. 580. I mean, it was one night. He might as well have just been in the dugout. I mean, how's that compared to other fighters, though? Like, I mean, Conor McGregor. Let's see what Conor McGregor made his last UFC fight. I mean, what was his last fight? Cerrone? Yeah, Cerrone, I think. So let me ask you this, Brett, while you're looking that up. Do you think I don't know, we got to know if there's a disparity. Should have had this looked up before. Wait, hey, they can watch. They can watch me. See my haircut? McGregor versus Cerrone fight purse prize money. McGregor will earn at least a $3 million purse. $3 million for Conor McGregor, who's not the champion? Yeah. All right. Come on. Do we need the uncomfortable talk here? Does it need to be said? You know what I'm saying? I know what you're talking about. Come on. Is there a discrepancy between white athletes and black athletes in UFC? Because tell me how John Jones, one of the most prolific MMA fighters in the past 10 years. I don't care what you think. You get the 12-6 elbow stuff out of my face. He's undefeated. Yeah. All right. That DQ was nonsense. Yeah. Him and Khabib Nurmagomedov are. Nobody's better than him in UFC right now. How much did Khabib make in his last fight? Nobody. That's got to be better than those two. That's got to be something to look up. And you can go McGregor sells more tickets. Bullcrap. He sells more tickets. Or I don't know. He might sell more tickets, but John Jones sells more pay-per-views. I don't know who Khabib's last fight was. Just say Khabib. Yeah, just say Khabib's UFC fight. I don't know. Khabib's last fight payout. Tell me what he made. Come on, Google. You know what he made. I mean, I got to know now. Tell me what he made, Google. I'm not feeling it after you telling me this other stuff. And we're going to look up his last payout. Jones's, to make sure we got good information. Yeah, because I'm... All right? Yeah. Where'd my internet go? My internet has escaped. Man. Out the back door. Look at you. Khabib Nurmagomedov earns reported $6 million payout for UFC 242 submission win. $6 million? John Jones last fight. Now, you just said $6 million? I did. Payout. He should be making more than McGregor. He's better than McGregor. As per MMA Daily, Bones' biggest payday came at UFC 214, where he beat Daniel Cormier to retain the light heavyweight championship and earned $580,000.
That's ridiculous.
Get that out of my house.
That is ridiculous.
Get it out of here. Enough already.
All right. It's got to be because he's not white.
Enough already. $580,000 is no excuse.
How? Now, there must have been something because of all the issues he's had with drugs and stuff. I don't know. No, I'm just saying is that I'm not rationalizing it, but
that is the rationalization. That's the rationalization. I think maybe Dana makes. That's the rationalization the fans make. He's a risk. He's failed tests. He's into hit and run. He's done cocaine. He's done all these things. We'll pay him.
Guess what else he's done? Guess what else he's done?
Guess what else he's done?
Went to your competitor.
Become the greatest of all time in your sport, you moron. Pay him.
Yeah. Well, they didn't, and he's
Bellator's gonna pay him.
Yeah. They give a lot of money. I wonder who owns Bellator because they gotta have money.
I knew his name.
There's a lot of money floating around there, and if you're in Bellator, you can go to TNA or you can go to WWE.
Chael Sonnen made money.
Listen,
in Bellator.
Listen,
don't know if he deserved it. He made it.
I like Chael Sonnen though. As a fighter, I was.
He's good at trash talking. Well,
that sport needs trash talking.
Sports
don't. That sport needs it. Golf needs it too. By God, I love it.
I'm trying to figure two people to put him between, and I don't know how to do it. I can't think of two fighters to do it. He was around a Michael Bisping. He was a little bit less than a Michael Bisping.
But Michael Bisping was also entertaining to watch fight. You don't have to be the all-time greatest in UFC to have a legacy.
Jackson made money in Bellator.
I loved watching Rampage fight.
Kimbo Slice made money in Bellator.
Hey, you know what? You know what's cool? Did you ever watch the UFC documentary?
Things all have in common?
What?
And not John Jones.
That's true. Did you ever watch the UFC documentary about Kimbo Slice? Where Dana White's there talking about how he talked all this trash about him, but he came in and he did the Ultimate Contender or Ultimate Fighter, and he paid his dues. He said that he was one of the hardest working people he'd ever seen walk in a gym because he knew that all eyes was on him and stuff. Also, randomly funny. Did you see this last Ultimate Contender Fighter thing they did? But it was some challenge thing where they were up on top of this platform that dropped you into a water pit, and Dana White's up there about to pee his pants. He was like, "I'll pay you $10,000 to not do this." Looking at one of the contenders and stuff, and he just laughs and bam, just straight down. I thought that was hilarious that that he was just so vulnerable there, and you could tell he didn't want to do it. He instantly regretted agreeing to doing it. I don't know, man. It's so tough without real sports going on. I've been watching a lot of AEW, man. I don't know, you don't really keep up with it, Brett, but I try to keep up with wrestling for the both of us. Mm-hmm. You've had some really good stuff happening in AEW. Cody Rhodes is just, he's doing the high, Cody could be the one demanding to be the champion right now, but he's not, right? He's letting other people have the high road. It's so funny though, they brought in was it Cage or whatever, Christian Cage was his name? Is it Chris Cage or something? Whatever the...
Christian Cage was...
No, Christian Cage is Christian.
Yeah, we know
Who's the big guy I was telling you about from TNA? But they brought him in, and he's going to get a fight against Jon Moxley. They had a pretty cool, in the ring interview thing.
Oh!
Get some breaking news?
8:20 p.m. Yahoo Sports, ladies and gentlemen, Jorge Masvidal joins John Jones in telling UFC to let him go. They may just lose Jorge Masvidal now. You better start paying these fellas, Dana.
So, all right, You
better start paying these fellas.
So you haven't, it's interesting. The world is a different place than what it was 10 years ago, right? So when I started working in high school, you never told people how much you made. No one knew your salary.
But now you can't get away. There's no way to hide it, though.
But now you have one of the most prolific fighters, John Jones, saying, "Hey, I'm going away." Yeah.
Dollars.
And
nobody in the UFC can beat me.
Yeah. So
put me in the cage with anybody, and I'll beat him.
Ken Shamrock.
And that's what he wanted. He wanted the big money fight.
Yeah.
He said, "Let's do me and Francis Ngannou." My God, what a fight that would have been.
Yeah.
Right? Oh man, John Jones and Francis Ngannou. I'll pay $60 to watch that. I don't care who else is on the card.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a big money fight. Conor McGregor walks in. I want my big money fight, and Dana just pulls his pants and says, "All right, McGregor, you can have it, buddy."
So, how much of that is from the fact that with John Jones going through all this stuff, Conor McGregor became the face of UFC? You might not want to hear that, but just like like with Ronda Rousey,
there shouldn't be that much of it.
I know that the time where Ronda Rousey was in UFC, there wasn't much competition. I understand that, but for 2 or 3 years, she was the face of it.
Should be that much.
Listen, I know. I'm not going to justify. UFC's got to do better. UFC's got to do better. And you know what? If they lose,
Bellator will do better.
If they lose both of these guys, they're going to either have to do it or they're going to sell out.
And you know what's going to happen? It is going to hurt him way more than he thinks it is, because now these two names right here, John Jones and Jorge Masvidal, goes to Bellator. You know how many eyes this putting on Bellator?
Hey, what if like there's a behind the scenes thing we don't know? What if the UFC's going under? What if they're going down?
That is the only thing. That's the only thing I can think for, because this has become a problem. More fighters are speaking out now. Now that John Jones is like, all right, I'm not getting a big money fight. I'm leaving. Bye.
Did you see what the
and now a lot of fighters are coming out and saying, you're underpaid all of us. You're really shafting all of us.
Yeah.
Like you have 2 or 3 favorites.
And right now they're not in a place where they can give more money.
Yeah, you have 2 or 3 favorites that you are shelling out to. Yeah. And the rest of us are underpaid.
It's kind of like tiers of WWE, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear some crappy stuff? You know I love talking high about Vince McMahon. And I love the WWE.
Oh, he's a schmuck.
Can I tell you what the recent thing that happened that really upset me?
Go ahead.
They released all those wrestlers, right? Uh-huh. First off, TNA's teased almost all of them.
Yeah.
Rusev's going to TNA.
Impact Wrestling. I think they dropped TNA.
Oh, okay. Impact. But Impact
they don't like to
teased Rusev.
Yeah.
Teased Zack Ryder. All these people, right? WWE said, hey, we'll hire you back at a fraction of what they were making.
I hope they said.
And, yeah. So, the only one, Drake Maverick became the NXT Cruiserweight Champion when he was laid off. And the day before, appeared in the Impact promo.
He came back?
Yeah, he came back.
For less money. What a schmuck he is.
Listen, yeah. So NXT competition, if you're an NXT wrestler and got released, you only have a 30-day non-compete clause.
Mm.
WWE itself is 90 days. That's why right now we're seeing the revival of WWE. They're in AEW, but they can't do anything yet until theirs is almost done. They're about to actually wrestle.
I hope they don't come back. I hope everybody says, "Go away, Vince. Get out of here."
So it's interesting to see that, man. But like I was hoping AEW was going to sign Rusev. I'm a big Rusev fan, and I hope Impact Wrestling does him well. Like I hope he's treated right there, and like I hope he's able to flourish. But let me tell you this: which one was it? Luke Harper that went to AEW? Luke Harper, right?
Yeah.
He is a microphone genius.
Yeah.
And you would have never known it. And he has such a great place in the company.
WWE it's not even laughable. You can't even laugh at it.
Yeah.
How embarrassingly bad they are at handling any sort of talent.
Yeah.
They are awful. I don't know how they got in a state where they can have people and they have no idea what to do.
Just being comfortable. There's been no competition. When you're a business and you don't have competition, it doesn't make you stay on top of your game.
I think they've always been that bad. I think they got lucky. They made Stone Cold the ringmaster.
Yeah, but
he broke out of the ringmaster for him.
The competition between them and WCW gave us the best period of WWE history.
I think they got lucky. They fell into it.
No. They didn't get lucky with Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H.
Go back
Shawn
and watch
Michaels.
and watch the Attitude Era.
There's
go back
too many people in the Attitude Era to get lucky.
and watch the Nation of Domination. Go back and watch that motorcycle gang that was in it. Go back and watch the Freak
Squad.
Go back and watch.
No one cares about the lower card. It's all about what's the main event and what the top tier cards are. The last hour of the show.
Look at Rocky in his little hula uniform. Look at the Ringmaster.
The Rock.
They had bad ideas.
Listen, the Rock
those people fought their way out of those bad ideas.
Yeah, but that was also a time period where there was more flexibility in the storyline of what your character development was. This is different. That's what Brett.
You don't think it was on those two men to fight their way out of those bad ideas?
It wasn't just two men though. There were so many people during that time.
And they were good. They had to fight their way out of. If you look how they originally started, they were misusing Chris Jericho. They misused The Rock. They misused Stone Cold. They misused Kurt Angle. They misused.
Everyone misused Stone Cold. Because if Stone Cold was so great, he would have made it in WCW.
Did you see him in ECW? He was great.
Well, I never watched him in ECW. I didn't even know he was in ECW.
That is where people started watching his promos because Paul Heyman knew, I just got to let this man say what he's going to say. He's gold.
Yeah, but when he came in the WWE, they gave him the gimmick. And then he broke out of it with the Austin 316 thing.
He broke out of it because he's good, not because WWE's good, because he's good.
Yeah, but that time period, though, they were good at managing stuff. Because they had competition.
They were better at backing off and letting it happen. They were better at backing off and letting the talented people do what they do.
Here's the thing, Brett.
Right now, they won't back off.
Because right now, they don't have any legitimate competition. But what I'm going to tell you is, here's the thing. AEW has been missing a tag team division. The tag team, all right, here you go. I can give you big names,
AEW's missing not being goofy.
Listen, well, that match was like the only goofy one on the thing, right? Actually, no, I lie. Because Dustin Reynolds or whatever his name is, Cody's brother, he basically pants Shawn Spears in the ring. Like, you see whole butt crack.
AEW's missing not being goofy.
And, here's the thing, right? AEW needs a tag team division. Signing the Revival's big. They're going to get the titles, like, real soon. Because, you know what? They're a phenomenal tag team. They're that old school wrestling like you like. Right? But they have tag teams. They have the Lucha Brothers, right? Pentagon Jr. Oh, my gosh. They have Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, but both of them are better as singles. I think that's about to break apart because they're teasing like a thing with Hangman Adam Page for the past 3 months. They also have Kenny Omega's best friends. What are they called? The Young Bucks. Right? They're like executives though in the company. It's crazy, but like they have individual teams, but like they need something to come pull the division together. And I think the Revival. I can't remember what they're called now, but they will do that.
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall or Diesel and Razor Ramon?
Phenomenal characters on screen.
Gotta know which Diesel and Razor Ramon or Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Well, I mean, I think that comparison's so unfair. I like Kevin Nash better as Diesel, and I like Scott Hall better as Scott Hall.
I like Kevin Nash better.
No way. The Diesel character was so good in WWE because he was so strong. They built him like the Giant. They built him like he was unbeatable. I love that type of thing when you're that size.
John Morrison left the WWE and did what?
Oh, he went to Lucha Underground and made a name for himself.
Drew McIntyre left the WWE and did what?
Absolutely nothing, and then came back better.
Come on! Did nothing. That's where he got his name outside of WWE.
I never even heard of him outside WWE.
Whoa! Where were you at?
Where did he wrestle? Like, seriously, where did he wrestle outside?
He went Impact, and he was the heavyweight champion, and people were like, this is how great he could have been in WWE.
I had no clue about
that. For years, people were like, this is what he could have been.
Well, he's that in the WWE now.
Because they saw they had to watch somebody else do it.
Yeah, but Drew McIntyre of WWE first run was like a scrawny, looked like he couldn't even fight a paper bag. Well, he went to
That's
Impact.
What they like.
Yeah, but he went to. I guess I didn't. I actually legitimately never knew he went to Impact. I didn't watch
the stuff they were doing. The stuff they were doing. They were like, "This. What were you doing, WWE?" Well,
I mean,
and when John Morrison left, they were like, "What were you doing? Look at him now."
Yeah. John Morrison is phenomenal. absolutely phenomenal. Number one, they need live crowds back because they need him to break away from the Miz.
And then there's a lot
the
of
John Morrison Miz rivalry for the rest of the year would be phenomenal.
And then there's a lot of examples. Then there's a lot of examples of people being hyped that their favorite indie wrestler was coming to WWE or their favorite other promotion wrestler was coming to WWE, and they get there and WWE is like, "This is what we're gonna do with you." What?
Some of the things doing? Like, all right, EC3, I think he's beyond his prime now. I think he's way outside of wrestling.
I didn't like him.
He's going back to Impact.
I didn't like him in Impact.
He's going back there now.
I didn't think he was good at
Impact.
But
he didn't fit in well.
The man to go.
I'm gonna tell you what.
The man that would have made it in WWE from Impact was Eli Drake.
Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, phenomenal in WWE in NXT at least. I separate NXT from WWE. I know I probably shouldn't, but like
no, I understand
company,
I understand.
But like I think the NXT be like Keith Lee, like he's about to be big time. Yeah, I know, man. I hope he sells it soon and it goes to someone who actually cares about wrestling.
We've been doing this thing for 55 minutes.
I know, it's crazy. You know what? This episode turned out a lot better than I expected. Like, can we be honest here? Because like in the beginning, I was like, man, we shouldn't even be taping this. But this turned out really good because there's a lot of cool things that hit. I will end it on this. The wrestling scene is getting really interesting because I think Impact is going to take a turn for better. And because you're going to bring in WWE people who have been trained to do it the right way, but they'll have creative freedom, right? We know. Here's one thing: WWE and any wrestler will tell you this who leaves. They're great at training you on how to do it the way. And so when you go elsewhere, you become successful because you already know how to do it. Where they go other places that have more creative freedom, that's how they're able to flourish, right? I think we're about to see a paradigm shift. You know, AEW's done the right things, right? They hired Arn Anderson for development, Jim Ross for development, Taz for development. Jake Roberts is there. He's a manager, right? You've got a bunch of old timers who do it the old school way, who know the old school way, who will be able to help you reach that height you want. And you have the money backing to do it.
Here. This is what I'm going to tell anybody who watches this video. Number 1, subscribe.
Thank you for saying that. We haven't even plugged it the whole day.
Number 2, like the video.
That's right.
Number 3, scroll down to the comments.
Tell us who you like better.
Click.
The Wallace or the comic.
Click on it. Just start typing. And you're going to tell us down there in those comments whether it was luck or skill in the Attitude Era. You're going to tell us whether it was luck or skill.
Do it.
And that's your homework assignment, folks. We want to see those comments on whether it was luck or skill, because I know which it is, and I think the fans know which it is, and you can be sad.
I don't think it was luck. All right, are you with me?
Vince McMahon didn't tell him to say, Austin 316 says I'll whip your ass.
I mean, that was right before the Attitude Era. That ushered it in.
The Rock, Vince McMahon didn't tell The Rock to turn on the Die Rocky Die chance.
I just think
he didn't tell any of that stuff.
I just think there's more than just luck that happened in the Attitude Era. I just think it was more than luck.
That wasn't his direction, was it?
Listen,
was it?
But you know what was his direction?
To let it
all
go.
All the cameos in the hospitals, all the stuff with him and Austin, that was him. That was all planned, and that stuff is some of the highest rated things ever.
But somebody had to bring the horse to water before he drunk.
Listen, it wasn't all up. You know what? Vote and let us know.
He couldn't find it on his own.
If you guys listen, I will by 2 weeks from now. 2 episodes. Listen. By 2 episodes from now, if you guys have majority said it was all luck that got in there, I will agree with you on 2 podcasts from now. I will take whatever side it was. If the people listening to this podcast say it was luck, you know what? I will come on here 2 weeks from now and say, you know what? It was luck in the
And there it is. And there you have it.
Once again, thank you for listening today to the Walrus and Comic Podcast. Just a quick update with you. Brett did a phenomenal job at a stand-up comedy competition this past week.
Apparently, not good enough.
He got shafted. That's all I'm going to say with that. But maybe next time we actually have some clips we can put up for your comedy stuff. So check us out on Facebook.
It's coming soon. I'll get a guest spot or something at the comedy club. We'll get it. I'll do a 5-minute spot. We'll put it on YouTube.
That's right.
It'll be there.
That's right.
It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Instagram.
Stand.
Yeah, next time I'll look like a professional comedian while I'm killing the room.
That's right.
while I'm destroying the room and making them laugh.
Thanks for watching.
That horse would have dehydrated if you didn't take him to water. He'd be dead.